big question for students. How much am I actually allowed to earn as a student during my studies? At what point do I have to pay taxes? Or am I obligated to file a tax return? This topic can be tricky as it is endless, and that's why I'll break it down for you in this video. For those of you who don't know me yet, I'm Vincent. And today we're going to talk about money during your studies. I get those questions sometimes as I work in the career services of the IU. Going through German rules and laws isn't the favorite topic for most, and neither for me, but it's really worth learning a few basic points to avoid problems. First of all, like most topics here in Germany, tax is a matter for the federal states. In other words, the income tax threshold as a student sometimes depends on the federal state in which you or your business are located in. However, all 16 federal states in Germany agree that there are certain guidelines or upper limits for students, especially if those people receive financial support from the states such as BAföG or scholarships, one thing at a time. There are different forms of income, and a very popular part-time job among students is the mini job. Name's in the title, small and easy to do. This means you work on a 520 euro basis. This type of job is usually work that doesn't require any extensive training or prior knowledge. It's also untaxed. If you earn more than 520 euros, your income will be taxed. As a student, you're subject to less taxes than a regular taxpayer in Germany. Please note though, you can't stack these tax-free jobs. The limit is 520. If you earn more, it will be taxed. It's also convenient because 520 euros usually means you work less than the 20 hours per week. This is super important for all students. The limit of how much you can work. The 20-hour limit is for all students, but this is especially important for international students. If you are an international student, then your visa will state that your primary purpose is to study. For German or European students, this might differ slightly. If you work more than 20 hours as a European student, you will lose your student status and will be taxed regularly. If you work 20 hours or less, you'll be taxed as a student. There are only a few exceptions to this 20-hour rule. These would be your semester break, weekends, and when you're considered course-free. Take into account, per year you have about 960 hours of work time as an international student. An increase of the annual allowance will take effect in March 2024. These hours can be either done in half days, 4 hours, or full days, 8 hours. But please keep this number in mind if you work various jobs throughout the year. The reason for this limit is that students should focus on their studies and not on work. You can work, but it should not be your main activity. If you've come to the conclusion that 500 euros is maybe not enough for you in a month, then of course there are other options such as working student jobs or general part-time jobs. Please note, you have an annual tax-free allowance of currently just under 11,000 euros. This might be adjusted in 2024, but it's still in the talks in the government. This means that you don't have to pay taxes here either, only if you exceed this upper limit. It is not relevant whether you earn the 11,000 in half a year, a month, or within 12 months. It's only about the annual limit here. However, what is very important to know, and here I come back to the point I made at the beginning of this video. If you want to continue to receive BAföG, you must not receive more than 520 euros per month. This is relevant for students of German nationality or EU passport holders. If you want to hear more about BAföG related stuff, I do suggest that you watch one of the German videos on this issue, as they will be more in detail. For now, let's continue. One additional benefit of working student jobs compared to internships is that they are paid at least minimum wage. Minimum wage is currently at about 12 euros per hour in Germany. Internships, depending on the type, can be paid less than minimum wage or not at all. The two main types of internships that exist in Germany are voluntary and mandatory. Most internships are full-time commitments. Due to the 20-hour work limit, voluntary internships are only possible in your semester break or if you've completed all your courses as a student and are considered course-free. Voluntary internships can vary in length. If they are 3 months or under, they don't have to be paid. Longer than 3 months, minimum wage rules apply. Mandatory internships usually have a set duration that is already defined in your module and by the job posting. They do not have to include holidays or pay, but they can. This is up to the employer. Getting back to one of the earlier points about tax returns. It may sound exhausting to deal with German taxes, but there are quite a few of useful apps and websites that can help you with this. A tax return can be worth it for a student, as you can deduct many of the costs you incurred during your studies. These include tuition and semester fees, moving, work materials, travel costs, internships, and the list could go on and on. In other words, everything that is somehow related to your studies or training can often be deducted from your tax return. We've already made a detailed video about this, which we will link below in the description, so feel free to click on it. I hope this video has shed some light on the subject, and if you still have any questions and are a student of the IU, feel free to contact us at any time. We're always happy to hear from you. Until then, all the best and goodbye.